Hello, everybody. So today, the fake Conservative Party, under the leadership of Rishi Sunak, has had a little reshuffle in the positions in government. Suella Braverman has been sacked as Home Secretary, which was expected. James Cleverly has been moved from Foreign Secretary to Home Secretary to take her place. And the big shock is David Cameron, the former Prime Minister, has come back from the political dead to be appointed as the Foreign Secretary, which really is not sending out a good message to anyone who wants peace, because he was the guy who approved the bombing of Libya, in 2012, which then led to the Libyan state being falling into chaos, with Gaddafi being killed, and then that spread later on over into Syria and Iraq. That's all linked in, and there was chaos in those countries as well. So he is responsible for that, and he was also the person who tried his very, very best to avoid having a referendum and having Brexit. And he was so distraught on the day of the referendum when people actually voted to leave the European Union in the UK that he resigned immediately. And then that led to Theresa May becoming Prime Minister afterwards, and we've got what we've got now. So that's what's taken place inside the government at the moment. Does this mean that there's going to be any change? Not at all. I mean, Suella Braverman said some good things, but when she was Home Secretary, she was completely and utterly impotent and didn't do anything to actually stop the boats coming across the channel, which is one of the major issues and problems that the UK has got in the moment. 50,000 people a year coming illegally in, all military-aged men, or almost all military-aged men, and then ending up in hotels, four-star hotels, getting a nice deal from the state, getting rewarded for coming illegally. And she's kept saying, stop the boats, we're going to stop the boats. But they haven't stopped the boats. The boats are keeping coming. And not just the boats, but there has been a huge surge in legal migration since she's been Home Secretary and since Rishi Sunak has been the Prime Minister, particularly from India and some other places. They're giving out student visas and work visas like they're Smarties to people coming to the UK by legal routes that they've set up, which is causing all kinds of problems in the housing market in the UK and in supply and demand for many, many other things, not least health services, education services, school places, and so on and so on. So is it a bad thing that Suella Braverman's gone? Because she did seem to say some conservative things, or more conservative things, in the fake Conservative Party? Not really. It's not going to make any difference at all, because she really didn't make much of an impression in terms of what actually she achieved in terms of results. What is, it's slightly disturbing that David Cameron's come back from the dead here, and they put a war pig in the Foreign Secretary's position, who is, a very, very big supporter of the Netanyahu regime in Israel. And they're also outside the UK government. Apparently, Tony Blair is raising his ugly head again, as Netanyahu wants him to be appointed as a negotiator of some kind between Israel and Gaza. Well, I don't see that going very well at all. Yeah, so, I mean, essentially, the fake Conservative Party is not conservative. It's part of the Uni Party. There is no difference between the fake Conservatives and Labour or the Lib Dems or Greens. They all together support mass rapid immigration, the whole net zero climate alarmism agenda with the Agenda 2030 UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals, where they want net zero by 2050 or 2040 or 2030, whatever date they want. It doesn't matter whether they're going to ban cars in 2030 or 2035 or 2050. That's the direction they're going in, which is to completely dismantle our energy infrastructure, and so that we are relying reliant on wind turbines and solar panels, which is the most ridiculously insane idea that anyone's ever had. It's not based on any science, and we're not going to have enough energy to run the country, our industry, or even our houses, to keep our houses and homes warm. They're all signed up to this, and it's absolutely ridiculous. They're all signed up to the LGBTQIAAPPP alphabet agenda. They want alphabet propaganda in schools. They're allowing it into schools. The fake Conservatives in England, Labour in Wales, the SNP in Scotland, of course, Lib Dems and Greens all support it and vote for it, where they have a chance in the UK Parliament as well, so that children are getting affected by this alphabet agenda and their propaganda in lessons, and that's children are being taught that they're not boys and girls, that they can change between being boys and girls, and then get so confused that they end up having all kinds of horrible things like puberty blockers and surgery, and this is a dreadful agenda, but they're all supporting it. They're all financially irresponsible to the max. So they spend more, they spend on absolute rubbish, HS2, lockdowns, furloughs, PPE, which we didn't need, test and trace, foreign aid, which is called development, which again is like giving billions of pounds to people to put wind turbines up in Ethiopia or something. I mean, that doesn't benefit us here at all. As well as many other things, diversity officers and all the quangos that they have, making jobs for people in these revolving doors. They get one job. The people in the golden circle, in the inner circle, and there are many of them. They get a six-figure job doing something, they mess that up, they get fired, and then they get a payout, and then immediately they get another six-figure job in another part of the civil service or another quango. And there's so many people who are beneficiaries of this. They must be in some society that I don't know anything about, there you go. And they must all help each other out. I don't know. But, it seems like that's the case. And they're all warmongers as well. So they've talked up the war in Ukraine. There's fake Conservatives. When Johnson was in charge, he went to Ukraine, spoke to Zelensky, and scuppered a peace deal. And now we have 500,000 people dead. And now they're talking up war in the Middle East, rather than de-escalating and trying to de-escalate the situation. Because some people want to get to war with Iran. As General Wesley Clark said in his famous speech in 2003, America, Pentagon, NATO, whatever, the powers that be in the military-industrial complex wanted to go to war with 7 nations, Iraq, and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Sudan, and then finishing off with Iran. Iran was to be the final one, and people are still trying to find a way to get to war with Iran. So appointing a warmonger who was part of that plan, obviously, took the country to war with Libya, destroyed that country, and then was involved in destabilizing Syria as well, is now back as Foreign Secretary, as the powers that be are looking for a way to get to war with Iran. So this doesn't bode well. And the fake Conservatives are utterly deplorable, as are Labour and the Lib Dems and the Greens and the SNP and Sinn Féin. They're all the same. They're all basically following the same agenda, which is not on the side of the people. But who is? Well, we are in the Heritage Party. So if you want a party that is not going to waste your money on all kinds of ridiculous things and will attempt to lower taxes, that is not going to harm your children in schools with this propaganda that confuses them and leads them to do things that they wouldn't normally do. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that because of the platform I'm on. If you want someone who's going to build our energy infrastructure and let you continue to use your cars, and let different kinds of cars just be subject to the free market rather than following the programs from other organizations, the UN, the World Economic Forum, etc., who want to cut down your carbon emissions and how much meat you can eat and how many times you can travel and what homes you can live in. And so all this kind of stuff is just there to control you. If you don't want this control agenda, the social credit agenda, the central bank digital currencies, the getting rid of cash and all of this surveillance that's going to come in, and if you want someone who actually is going to stop the boats, and who is not just going to stop the boats but radically reduce legal immigration and start to train our own young people to do the jobs that need to be done in this country, rather than trying to rely on endless cheap labour from abroad to do those jobs, then the Heritage Party is for you. So please look us up on heritageparty.org. You're welcome to join us and apply to be a candidate. And together, hopefully, we can get rid of all these I nearly swore there. All these people in the Uniparty who really don't care about our country or our people, but are beholden to themselves and to other agendas and other people, globalists outside our country. And they're not going to take us into a good future, but we will. So please come and join me. Thanks for listening, everybody. God bless you all.